Welcome to your Citizenship Test cram session. Today, I'll be your instructor, guiding you through this explainer to cover the absolute essential facts you need to memorize from the Who We Are section of your Discover Canada study guide. We're focusing strictly on pages 10 through 13, filtering out all the extra noise and zeroing in on the exact facts most likely to pop up as test questions.
All right, grab your notepads. We have 4 core topics on the agenda today. National identity concepts, Aboriginal peoples defined, Canada's official languages, and multiculturalism policy. Let's get to what you need to remember.
Section 1. National Identity Concepts, the Foundations of Canada. Let's start with the macro concepts.
Okay, I want you to write this exact phrase down right now. The study guide explicitly highlights that Canadian institutions uphold a commitment to, quote, peace, order, and good government. Now, the absolutely crucial point here is that this is a key phrase from Canada's original constitutional document, which was passed way back in 1867, known as the British North America Act. Memorize that year and definitely memorize that phrase.
Beyond our founding document, you also need to know that Canada has the oldest continuous constitutional tradition in the world. Put a giant star next to this next fact in your notes. We are the only constitutional monarchy in North America. Trust me, that is a prime candidate for a multiple choice question.
So, if a question on your exam asks you what it fundamentally means to be Canadian, the guide explicitly states you must know our 3 founding peoples. They are Aboriginal, French, and British. Do not let them trick you with any other combinations on the test. It is strictly Aboriginal, French, and British. Moving right along to Section 2, Aboriginal peoples defined, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis.
First up, we have the First Nations. Pay close attention to the timeline here. The term First Nations really started being used in the 1970s, replacing older terminology like the word Indian. For your exam, you've also got to know that today about half of First Nations people live on reserve land in approximately 600 communities, while the other half live off reserve, mainly in urban centers.
Next, we have the Inuit. It is a guaranteed test question to know that the word Inuit literally translates to the people in the Inuktitut language. Their incredible knowledge of the land, the sea, and the wildlife allowed them to adapt to one of the harshest environments on Earth. They live in small, scattered communities all across the Arctic.
The third group is the Métis. Now, for the Métis, you must memorize 3 distinct facts. First, they are a distinct people of mixed Aboriginal and European ancestry. Second, the vast majority of them are geographically concentrated in the prairie provinces. And third, they speak their own unique dialect known as Michif. You need to lock these exact demographic percentages right into your memory for exam day. 65% are First Nations, 30% are Métis, and 4% are Inuit. Know these numbers cold. All right, Section 3, Canada's official languages, English and French. The key terms you need to know here are Anglophones, which means people who speak English as a first language, and Francophones, meaning people who speak French as a first language. English and French are the country's official languages, and the federal government is actually required by law to provide services throughout Canada in both of them.
Make sure you remember these specific population numbers. There are 18 million Anglophones and 7 million Francophones. Also note that, while the vast majority of Francophones live in the province of Quebec, the study guide specifically points out that 1 million Francophones live in Ontario, New Brunswick, and Manitoba.
Speaking of provinces, there is exactly one, and I mean literally only one, officially bilingual province in the entire country. If the exam asks which one it is, the answer is always New Brunswick. Next up, commit the year 1969 to memory. That's when Parliament passed the Official Languages Act. You must know its 3 core objectives for the test: to establish equality in Parliament, to maintain minority language communities, and to promote language equality in broader society. It's prime multiple choice material.
Finally, Section 4, Multiculturalism Policy, Diversity in Modern Canada.
The study guide notes that the majority of Canadians were actually born in this country, and that's been true since the 1800s. However, you absolutely must know that Canada is widely referred to as a land of immigrants. Over the past 200 years, millions of newcomers have helped build and defend Canada's way of life, working together in peace.
The study guide also explicitly stresses that true multiculturalism in Canada means that diverse groups share a common Canadian identity with full legal protection. This includes a very specific note you should remember. Gay and lesbian Canadians enjoy the full protection of and equal treatment under the law, and that includes access to civil marriage.
Well, we've covered a ton of ground today. Let's test your memory right now. Can you name Canada's 3 founding peoples? What about the 3 objectives of the 1969 Official Languages Act? Review these facts until you have them completely memorized. But remember, knowing who we are is just the very first step. So what are the actual rights and, more importantly, the heavy responsibilities that come with holding a Canadian passport? That's a whole different section of the exam and a story for our next explainer. See you then.